Okay, we're recording oh my gosh. Okay, so y'all, that was the single most influential and transformative convention that I have personally ever been to. That was my 6th convention, and you guys are going to hear some really amazing gut punches, takeaways for me, and I'm going to share at the very end. But my business is going to be forever changed based on this convention, and I am forever grateful for the words that were spoken into us over the course of those 3 days. Don't fret if you were not there. I promise you, over the next couple weeks, we're going to be doing trainings. We're going to be making posts and doing coaching calls and speaking life into you guys based on the things that we all heard at convention. So rest assured, the concepts are going to be passed on, and we're going to do the absolute best we can in this call to kind of regurgitate what happened. And I was trying to put my finger on the difference between this convention and years past. And I think for me, it truly, and it might not be the same across the board, which is why I wanted to invite, 6 friends on here to talk with you guys and to share their experiences, because it truly, the content that was passed along to us met me exactly where I was at, and met me with exactly the type of takeaways that I personally was desperate for in my business. And it was so transformative and current, meaning that it easily transferred into my business right here and easily transferred into my mindset. For me, and what I personally took away, it was mindset work above all else. There were tools and great things that we're going to be sharing on another call later on this week, or possibly next Monday. I'm getting with Amy Welch. We're going to do a big call with all the new things that were rolled out. So that's not what necessarily what this call is going to be about. Corporate is doing some great deep dives into the shareables, into the different tools and those types of things that were rolled out at conventions. So you guys can lean into that. And then, of course, Amy and I will get on a call and talk to you guys about, Mexico and the shareables and all the new cool things. I'm going to do a lunch and learn on Active on Wednesday. So those kinds of things are absolutely going to get covered. But what I wanted to transfer on tonight was what we all walked away with, actionable things in our business and big gut punches and big aha moments. So I'm going to share at the very end and share some of my aha moments and gut punches. But in the meantime, I'm going to pass it over to a couple people that so wonderfully volunteered to share their heart. And I know they're really nervous, you guys. So give them some praise, some accolades, give them some encouragement in the chat, because it's hard to get on here and share in front of everybody. So the first person, she's going to probably kill me, that I'm going to call on is Rachel Schaefer. She is going to get on here and talk to you guys a little bit about her takeaways from this past week. Rachel, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. So yes, I might kill you for this, but no. No. So for those that don't know me, I'm Rachel, and I've been on this team for over 4 years, and this is my 3rd convention. And I have been to 3 leaders retreats as well. And this by far was the event that changed or will change everything for me. Just be prepared. I'm a crier. So this week hit me really hard in the heart. And just like Sarah said, it met me right where I was at, not just business-wise, but personal growth that I can use outside of Plexus. And I think that was the biggest thing for me, was that this isn't just about Plexus. This is about my life. 37 years of my life, I all came down to this one week that it's still so hard to put into words. So when I was listening to Mel Robbins, and I'm trying so hard to download her thing because I recorded it, so that I could play it over and over and over again. I honestly felt like there was not one single person in that auditorium with me, that she was sitting right in front of me, looking in my eyes, talking straight to me. I 100% felt that. And it was very much about mindset. And I think that that's what the difference was with this convention. Is some of the other ones were about product and about growing and being a leader and things like that. And this one was about mindset. And I think that that is huge, because the thing that she said is that none of us are any different than the jewels that are sitting on that floor, except mindset. All of them had fear. All of them still have fear. All of them, have doubts and things like that. But it's their mindset that they have trained very differently than some of the rest of us. And she started talking about feeling worthy. And that hit me so incredibly hard. And sorry, because for so very long, I was the unplanned person. I was the unplanned pregnancy. I was the second best. I was not worthy of success. I was not worth the dreams that I dreamed or the family that I had. Very much a part of growing up. I was not worthy of what I wanted. I wasn't going to be successful. I wasn't going to be I was just going to be average, because it wasn't like I was wanted. And that is so incredibly not true. And she talked about even when you reach that rank, whether I reached emerald or diamond, if I didn't change my mindset and believe that I was worthy of it, it wasn't gonna make a difference. And that to me was huge, because I've been in this business for 4 years, and I have said that I've wanted to be a jewel, but I never believed I could do it. I never believed I was worthy enough to do it until this week. I sat there and I said, I am worthy to be on that stage. I am worthy to be sitting down there with those jewels. I am worthy of the dreams that I have, the life that I live, the family that God blessed me with. I feel finally worthy of that. And I finally feel worthy of the friends that loved on me all week. And for 4 years, I haven't felt like I deserved that, or the team that I have. So that to me was absolutely hands down the best thing that could have happened that week. And it was on the last day, and I bawled my freaking eyes out through Mel Robbins the whole time, because it finally was meaningful to me that I am worth something. And guys, if you feel like you're not worthy, as soon as I get this thing downloaded, you need to listen to it. But two, I literally have woke up the last 4 mornings and said to myself, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you are worthy, every single morning. And it's been 4 days, and I feel so different. And so I still get chills. I still get teary eyed. Every single person that listens to this call or is on this call, I want you to know, and everybody else wants you to know, that if no one's told you in your life, no one told me for 37 years. Well, people did. I shouldn't believe it. But you are worthy. You are worthy of success. You are worthy to be a jewel. You are worthy to be in this business, to have the dreams that you dream. You are worthy of all of it. You just have to think about it here. So.
I love it so much, Rachel. Like, speaking with Rachel after that session, I got goosebumps from her excitement. And Mel gave us this tool, which I'll expound upon a little bit further, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And for those that weren't there, essentially, it just teaches you, if this isn't like a, hey, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, jump in front of that car, or 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, like make a bad gambling bet or anything like that. It is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, get up out of bed. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, send the scary message. 5, it's the countdown. It's not counting up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the countdown that switches your brain into thinking, okay, that's it. You have to do it. And you see these opportunities. She said life's full of little small decisions where you can go one way or the other. And those are the moments where you just use the countdown in your head and you do the thing that you know you need to do, but you don't want to do, or you don't feel worthy of doing, or you don't feel. And she said so many people have been able to get through their sobriety, like become sober because of this. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, grab the water, not the beer, or, whatever it is, cigarettes, what have you. So it's such an applicable, just small little itty bitty, easy to use tool that's so profoundly life-changing. And so I thought I love your takeaway, Rachel, and I'm so appreciative of you sharing that. And I think that tool is something everybody on this team can use to do the big, bold, scary things, right? And you're so right. Everybody here is worthy of it. Everybody is. And it's that switch in mindset. It's just like, you know what? I'm going for it. I'm doing it. All right. So moving on to the next person that's probably going to murder me for choosing her next. Michelle, I'm looking at you. Oh, let me unmute you. Hold on. There you go.
Okay, cool. Rachel, thanks for sharing that. As I drop everything, I think we had some similar experiences, so that was good. So I just want to set a picture here. Patty Parmiter, my upline, and I got into the convention Monday night, and she had won the VIP experience through the convention contest. And because she loves me and I'm her friend, I got to be a part of that too, which was super fun. But she was invited to the Jewel breakfast on Tuesday morning, and she thought that she wasn't allowed to bring a guest. So she goes downstairs for that. I'm still in bed. And she calls me and says, Michelle, get down here right now. You can come in too. And so like in 5 minutes, I got dressed, brushed my hair, put no makeup on, and came downstairs. Thankfully, Sarah and Amanda and Taryn and Megan were there to greet us and make us feel comfortable. But honestly, like I just looked around the room and felt like, holy smokes, I do not belong in this room. What the heck am I doing here? It didn't help that I didn't have makeup on, but honestly, it's so much deeper than that. And anyways, we enjoyed breakfast, we enjoyed shopping. And then the next morning we got to come back to the hospitality area that's just set aside for the Jewels, and then go to the Jewel training. And for some reason at that hospitality room, I made myself take a deeper look. And instead of just noticing the beautiful people, and I don't mean that in a negative way, I'm just trying to get you into my mindset that I have a stereotype that Jewels are all beautiful and they all dress perfectly and they all have beautiful eyelashes and they all have perfect hair and blah, 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 blah. It's crap. But anyways, instead of just noticing those, I noticed everyone. And I really looked around and realized there was an awful lot of people there that looked just like me. They weren't all 30. They weren't all even 35. There were some older women there. I'm 54. For those of you that don't know me, I've been an ambassador for 3 years. I'm gold. Patty's senior gold. And that was just the beginning of a realization of, okay, maybe I could belong here someday. And that was awesome. And so then we went into the training, and Bob Heilig spoke, and then 2 Plexus Diamonds spoke. And those were probably the 2 most impactful sessions of the entire time for me. And I just felt so privileged that we got to be in there when we weren't really emeralds or sapphires or diamonds. But
Can
here's
I just
why it was,
for a second.
yeah.
So they actually went into the Jewel breakout session. That's the session she's talking about, not the main session with Bob.
Yes, thank you. So Jennifer Leith was the first diamond that talked, and she basically talked the whole time about the imposter syndrome and how she didn't know we were in the room. She was talking to people who already had achieved emerald, sapphire, and diamond, and basically calling them all out because they all have these moments where they think, what the heck am I doing here? How did I get to emerald? I don't deserve this. I don't belong here. And how it stops their business because you put your arms out because you don't want anyone to get too close to you, because then everyone else will figure out what you already know, and that is that you don't belong here, that you're not worthy, back to what Rachel said, of being a diamond or whatever. And Patty and I are looking at each other and just crying. And we're sitting behind Sarah and Amanda and Taryn and Megan and Amy, and they're all crying. And it was just one of those aha moments that made me realize it's not just me that feels unworthy. It's not just me that feels like I'm never going to be good enough to do this. It's the people who have already achieved that success as well. And that was just, one of those life-changing moments where you go, okay, again, maybe I could do that. Maybe I'm not that different. And, it was just very, very impactful. She had some good solutions to that I'm just going to tell you just a couple. First of all, the most important saying, it's not who you are that holds you back. It's who you think you aren't. And you've seen, some of us have already posted this on our Facebook pages, because it was just one of those moments where you're like, holy crap, that's really true. It's our fear of not being good enough that keeps us from doing what we know we can and should do. Her basic point was, it's just our brain's way of protecting us from failure or protecting us from being hurt. And so her solution is just like, say, hey, brain, thanks for trying to watch out for me, but I got this. And you just kind of acknowledge it and ignore it and move on. And she gave some more specific steps that I won't get into because I'll take all of everyone else's time. But real quickly, the second person that spoke was Jessica Heffley, and she talked about limiting beliefs, and particularly about finances. And that was, I didn't even know I had an issue with this until she started talking. And she gave us a worksheet, which once this call is posted, I'll post it in the comments. I scanned it. But kind of had some areas of, what do you believe about money? And then she talked about how those beliefs can really limit you, and then trained us how to turn those beliefs around. So just for example, one of mine was, you can't be rich and be a strong Christian. Rich people are selfish, entitled, snobby, whatever you want to say. And then the biggest one for me, which just comes from my upbringing, is it's not polite to talk about money. You think about, if you really believe those things, how it's going to keep you from being successful in this business. And so then to turn those around, for me, it would be, Christians who have a lot of money can do a lot more good. We need to have a lot of rich Christians to do good in the world. The rich people I know are amazingly generous and share their wealth with others. They use their money for good and make me want to be around them. And that's totally true, because I know a lot of rich people in Plexus that are amazingly generous, when you think about it. And lastly, it's my responsibility to share the income opportunity that Plexus provides with those I love and care about. And if I can really make myself believe that, it will change my business, because Tara Castaneda and several others talk about leading with the business instead of the products. And I almost never do that, because I don't think that's what people want to hear, and I'm afraid. So anyways, I think that's all I had to share. It was awesome.
Thank you so much. And just speaking with the two of you guys after that session, which for me, that I'll speak on that a little bit later, that was the most life-changing session for me as well. It was really neat. I don't think Patty's on the call, or she might be, but I know she has bronchitis, and so she wasn't able to share today. But one of the things she said that stuck out to me was, right after the training, she said, I feel like the curtain and the barrier just dissolved between myself and the jewels. We're all the same person.
Exactly.
Inside and out. There's no difference. And to speak on, I've heard that feedback time and time and time and time again, that I'm not like the jewels. I am not I don't dress like the jewels. I don't act like the jewels. You guys, open your eyes to the larger scope. You probably are only following the loudest jewels. You're probably only following the jewels that command the most attention. And what you don't see, and what I think you guys saw, was when you're in a room with all of the jewels, it represents society. There are all walks of life in there, and there's not a mold at all. And I wish every single person on our team could have been in that training, because it was such a light bulb moment to see, like, everybody feels unworthy. Everybody feels like they don't belong. Everybody has anxiety about this position that we've been given, and nobody feels like they are deserving of it. So super, super cool. And thank you for sharing. In the interest of time, I'm moving on quickly to the next person. Lisa Mallory, I see you. You're right below me. Okay, go ahead.
Hey, all. I know most of you on here, but for the ones that don't know me, I am Lisa, and I'm 2 years in. It's my 2-year Plexiversary, if anybody saw that out on my page. I tend to be long-winded, and this is my first conference, and it was amazing. I'm still tired from it, and I've been using Active a lot. Oh my God. And yes, I am also 54. So I'm older, and yes, to you too. And tire easily on a regular basis. I'm not up till that time in the morning, getting up the next morning. So my takeaways was all of the pleximonies that I so wish I would have recorded, of all of the diamonds or jewels or whoever they were, and how they come from common grounds and dealing with the same things. A lot of people are dealing with worse things that I'm dealing with, and they got over these things, and they were able to take their lives in their control and be confident and get them to the places they're at right now. If they can do it, I can do it. One of the ones that spoke to me was the new diamond that went up and spoke, because I'm from Wisconsin.
Awesome.
She is from Oshkosh. And one of my main problems that I've always had, and I have a very hard time getting over it, is my confidence. I doubt myself a lot, often. I go into a conversation thinking I know what I'm talking about, I'm going to be strong, and as soon as someone battles me and says, "Are you sure about that?" or "I think this," or whatever the case may be, I'm doubting myself right off the bat. I'm like, well, that's what I know. I don't know. Maybe there's something I don't know that you're talking about, or something to that effect. I always doubt myself. So another thing is, Plexus is new in my area in Wisconsin. There are some Plexus people in this. I'm next to Lake Michigan, Sheboygan County, for you Wisconsinites that are on here. And I've had booths, and I've talked to people, and people are not aware of it. They're very new to it, and it's such a conservative area that, oh my God, this is new. It's poison. Don't go near it. She doesn't know what the heck she's talking about. And so friends, family, all these people that I love dearly and I'm so close to are fearful of it, will not touch it, will not come close to it. And so to see someone from Oshkosh, Wisconsin come on the stage and talk about how she had to put her baby to bed hungry without formula, and she was so in love with the Lord and so Christian and spiritual that it spoke to my heart. And I so want her, if anybody has it, I'd love to get her speech and share that on my page. Would love that. That is one that I'm really aiming at, because I want to show people, not only is this lady from Wisconsin, and this, is popular in Wisconsin, it's not just a California or other state thing. It's, this look at where this lady came from. If she can do it, I can do it, you can do it. We can do this together. And so, yeah, that's my takeaway really a lot, is that.
I love it. And I loved how they went into how everybody has a story. Everybody has a reason that would hold them back. And it's, they don't care about your circumstance or your story or anything. I spoke with a bunch of you guys about this. And I thought that was neat. We all have hardships in our life, and we're so focused on the hardship that we don't focus on the overcoming the hardship and moving forward and past it. And I loved her speech as well. So,
Yes. And the hardships are worse than what I'm going through. They're worse. People have it worse than what you have, and they're able to do it. So stop your whining and stop your excuses.
Be an overcomer. Yes, I love it.
I love that song too. I don't know if you know that song, The Overcomer.
Yeah.
Mandisa. It's a Christian song. Love that song. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. I so appreciate you sharing, and I loved getting to hang out with you and see you on this trip.
Me too, for you. And all of you on here too. It was fantastic.
So wonderful. Okay, so Heather Folks, you're up next, sister.
Hey, thank you so much, Sarah. So I'm definitely not the only one on here who had just like a huge mindset change. And for me, this was my 4th convention, and I've been with Plexus for 5 years now. And like a lot of people on here, I can definitively say I'm gonna look back on this, like you said, Sarah, like look back on this as like a turning point in my business. And to be honest, like I did not have a really good mindset coming in. And I even told my husband, I'm like, I kind of feel like this is going to either like make or break my Plexus future. Like I'm either going to walk away and be so excited and ready to push, or I'm not, because my next rank is Emerald. And I can't go for Emerald and be like wishy-washy. That wouldn't be fair to the team that I'm going to build to get there. So, you know, I was like, let's just see. And there were so many moments, and, you know, my husband was there with me, but he didn't come to all the sessions where I came afterwards. And I was like, I felt like God was just like, here you go, Heather, here you go, Heather, here's what you need to hear. Here's what you need to hear. And like, I was like, okay, God, okay, I get it. So, for me, my 2 biggest takeaways were from Bob Heilig. His just whole speech was just, I'm so glad that you recorded it, Sarah, because I watched it again today. So much of what he said spoke to me. One of the things that he said that really struck with me was just talking about inconsistency and how he even struggled with that when he was a network marketer. And he said that the reason that people struggle with inconsistency is because of having issues with worthiness and limiting beliefs about yourself, saying that, well, I'm not good enough to be blank, like whatever it is that, you know, is holding you back from whatever your goals are. That's the reason why I've been inconsistent personally. And I can look back on that and know for sure I'm coming off of like a really tough year for myself, like just personally. And I can pinpoint exactly what it is now. Like now that he said it, it was like a light bulb, because I woke up every day and I knew exactly what I needed to do to move forward with my Plexus business, but I just couldn't. And I didn't. And this was why. It was because, like Rachel was saying, you know, I could relate to what she was saying too, like not feeling good enough. And for me, I think I was even scared to be successful, because like I wasn't so much a fear of failure, because it's kind of what I expected of myself. I expected, well, I'm just going to fail. It'll be okay. But to be honest, I was more scared of being successful, of what people would think of me if, you know, if I was successful, and be like, oh, look at her with her Lexus, and like, how much time does she have to take away from being with her kids to like make this happen? And, oh, you should make more money than your husband, or whatever it might be, you know, like, that was really like one of my biggest fears. So just like being aware of that was just huge for me. And that might seem like such a silly thing, but it really was. Like, it was what I needed to hear. Just understanding that like this identity I've created for myself is so false. Like, it's so false. Like, not feeling good enough, not feeling like I deserved it, like kind of putting myself in like a box where I could just be in my little introverted self and like be comfortable. That was getting me nowhere. So just like understanding to like stop the negative talk within myself, and that I'm enough, like the way that God created me is absolutely everything I need to be successful. I've spent way too much time thinking, if I could just be more like this person or this person, you know, then I could be successful. But no, because God created me to be this way, and I have all the tools that I need. So like that was huge for me. So even just jumping back into my business these last few days, just I've been telling myself I'm enough, and also I've been telling myself that I have something that people desperately need, whether it's the products or business or both. And telling myself that has really helped me get over some of that fear with reaching out to new people. And then the other thing that he mentioned as part of his story was that even though he hit a lot of bumps along the road, his dream and his desire to be up on the stage, he could never go back. He could never go back to a time before he had that dream of like inspiring people and being on a stage one day. So no matter how hard it got, he couldn't go back. Like this is the new normal, was like this goal that he had. And for me, like that was a big realization for me too, because to be honest, like with this last year, like I tried to look for other things to be like, maybe there's something else that I should be doing, or maybe I should go back to school, or, you know, like honestly, I was looking for other avenues, but I realized like I can't go back. I have this dream to be an Emerald. I have this desire, and I have this desire to one day be up on that stage as a new Jewel. And so there's something I can do about it. It's there. So I got to work for it. But it just comes down to like that belief, like just believing in myself, because we all know what we should be doing each and every day. But like, if you can't get over that belief, it doesn't matter. If I were to hit Emerald tomorrow, but I still don't believe in myself, like I'm still going to have all the same struggles. So it starts with that belief. And so for me, it's just walking away knowing that I need to like speak positive affirmations into my life every day, and just knowing that like I'm enough. And I hope that you guys will do the same. Those of you that are feeling similar to how I'm feeling, just know that you're enough too.
I love it. Thank you, Heather. And I totally agree. I kind of glommed onto that point of, okay, you didn't come this far to only come this far. Once that dream's been implanted in your head of your why, or the rank that you want to get to, or the achievements that you want to accomplish, or the things you want to do, it's really hard to undream that dream. It becomes, this is just it, right? And so you either embrace it and run with it, or or what, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And stop, you know, pausing and self-sabotaging and stalling and telling yourself these stories and speaking them into existence, but instead speak your dreams and your goals and the dream into existence. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yay. Okay, Rebecca Todd. Yes, I see you. You're on here.
Okay.
Rebecca, you're muted.
I think I unmuted myself and you probably unmuted me and whatever. Okay, sorry.
I didn't touch it again, I promise.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. I'm not touching it, I promise.
Okay, stop touching it, Sarah. Okay, sorry. So I'm Rebecca Todd, for those of you that don't know me. I have been doing this for 4 years, a little over 4 years. Heather is my amazing sponsor and friend, and I am so grateful to her because if not for her, I wouldn't be where I am. So many things. I honestly have loved every convention, and I've taken amazing things away from each convention. But definitely this was like a mindset shift for sure. And that sense of unworthiness is gone, and it's kind of crazy. And it like gives me chills and goosebumps just thinking like, it's just gone. I don't know. It's just gone. Something happened and it's just gone for me, which is so awesome. So I was very, very sick before I started Plexus, very sick for many, many years. And I prayed two separate prayers. Please, God, help me to feel better. Please, God, help me to have some sort of opportunity where I can earn a little bit of money. I prayed for $1,000 a month. That's what I was always praying for. I just need $1,000 a month. We have 10 kids. We only had, a few at the time, but we only made a certain amount of money then too. So it was like, obviously, as my husband's career has progressed, we've been able to, afford more kids and more groceries and all of that. But the prayers has always been the same. I just need something to make $1,000. And I think I finally realized like I'm praying too small, because that's what I'm getting right now. Like I'm getting a small dream. Thank God. I'm so grateful for it, but I'm praying too small. Bob was really huge for me, and he's awesome, of course, but even my husband was there with me, and he goes, I don't like to admit when people are better than me at something, but he's like, he was pretty good. He was amazed at him. And he just said so many things that were just on point. For me, my biggest thing and my like aha moment was, let's see, he put a little slide up and he said, your Plexus business is an assignment from God, an assignment from God to help increase and build your faith, to help build your faith. I think is exactly what it was. And that was huge for me because I was like, okay, I asked for something, an opportunity for $1,000 a month, right? I got it. I mean, it took me years. It took me 10, 12 years probably of praying that prayer, but he showed me what he can do and I got it. And I'm not saying I didn't work hard for it, of course, you know, all of that, but I need to work harder now because I have a bigger dream. You know, it's always been in my kids' like mind that they can't go to college. We can't afford college for our kids. We have 10 kids. There's no way we can afford college, right? Well, why not? Why can't we afford college? We can. I just need to work my booty off to get us there. All of our kids, our family, we all have always felt that we are going to do big things. All my kids, and my oldest is 23. He told me the other day, he's like, I think all of our kids, all of our family is going to do something big. What if they need college to do that? What if they need that stepping stone to do something really, really big for other people? I need to be able to provide that, you know, so that practical, you know, that's kind of more practical, but that's kind of my I don't know, my thought on that. So another thing that popped in or that I saw right after convention, and I'm going to have to read it, is Satan's biggest fear for you is to become what God created you to be. This is why he has tried everything to make you lose your focus. And so like all these things combined, I'm like, oh, okay. It's like a gut punch, you know, like, okay, God, I get it. As soon as I got this opportunity in front of me, I stopped praying. I felt selfish for praying for my business. I felt selfish for praying for myself because I felt like he gave me everything I asked for. Why am I asking for more? That's so selfish of me. And I finally figured, you know, it just was this huge aha moment. This is so stupid. I am not being selfish. I am so grateful and I have so much. So we can do so many things and my children can do so many things. And really, you know, because of Plexus, honestly, and it sounds so crazy and so big and so, but it is, it's that big, like, and it just blows me away. I think for me, like, I've never worried about failure because, I mean, I'm a mom. I fail every day at something, right? Like that's never been, so people say, you know, you have this fear of failure. That's never been me. And I could never really figure out, put my finger on what my fear was. But just like Rachel and just like Heather and some of these other people and probably more people that are going to come talk after me, I felt so unworthy of this and of these friendships and of this life. And I'm done. I don't feel unworthy anymore. I know that I am here for a purpose and it's so much bigger than me. It's, you know, bigger than just my kids and my family. And it's exciting. I feel so energized and so excited that I get to help so many people. And I've always known that and I felt that, but I am like, on fire for it. Like, I don't know. I'm just super excited. You know, God brought me here and I'm not going to fail him. And I think that that's the biggest thing that, you know, that has come from this. I'm being faithful and I am doing what he is wanting me to do. It's an assignment from God to help people. I think just another couple of things Sarah Marble mentioned on stage in front of, you know, 11, 12,000 people that even in her business the last year, she has failed and she has not done, you know, exactly what she's wanted to do and that kind of thing. So I think for me, I used to have major jewel envy and which is probably not the right word for it, but I did. I remember sitting at convention, staring down on that floor thinking, just staring down those jewels, like who's down there? Am I going to ever be able to be down there? That kind of thing. And like Sarah said, everybody's just normal. Like they're just people. And, Sarah Marble is going through struggles. Like, this is crazy to me, so if, I feel, I feel worthy now. I do. I feel like I'm ready. And, I don't know. It was very, very inspirational, this convention, and mindset is totally shifted, and I am so on fire to help people.
I love it. And I think that you brought up such a good point that so many of us as Christians feel guilt for success. And that is Satan. Christians, like Michelle said, and Jessica Heffley said, Christians need money to do good things. That's how this world works. That's how that's the reality of our world. And if you want to do big, good things, yes, you can do them without money, but it's a heck of a lot easier to do them with. And you can make a much larger impact with. And it's okay to pray for that. And it's okay to talk about it. And it's okay to embrace it and to use this path God laid out for you to do big things. He doesn't qualify he doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the whatever. I'm messing that up. But on to the next person. Nicole Odermatt, are you on here? So I saw you. Yes, I see you now.
All right. Can you hear me? Good. Okay. Yeah. Actually, what you just said, what Jessica Heffley said about having money or needing money to do good things. I think that was actually John Maxwell that said that, because I just heard him say that recently on a podcast that I listened to like 15 times. But yeah, so I'll go over, I'm going to probably cut out some of the stuff I wanted to say, but speaking of like personal development and stuff, I liked what Bob Heilig said, that this kind of a business it's basically a personal development program with a compensation plan attached to it. And I was like, dang, like that is so true, because I have grown so much through this. And so does my husband. My husband and I, John, we came to convention together, second time coming to convention together. And I mean, he got so much belief just coming last year with me and attending the Metaplexus session, and then doing that again this year. He was so excited for the Metaplexus session. And during the convention, he's sitting there taking notes. Like, he's all in with me. He is, I mean, he works a day job. He has other side jobs, but he's totally all in. He pours into this. We do this together, which is really cool. And we've both grown a lot from this. And, we're still learning. Obviously, we're still growing. And my mindset holds me back a lot with a lot of things. And believe it or not, it's actually improved a ton. For those of you that know me, my mindset isn't the best, but it has already improved like so much from Plexus. Like each year, just a year into Plexus, it improved a ton. And now another year, it's improved a ton. So it's really cool. But I have, highs and lows. We all have struggles and stuff like that. And I've had a couple different struggles. It seems like it's like valleys or mountains. Like sometimes you're up high and you're up high for a while and you've all these wins, and then you're down low, and then it's hard to get out, and I feel stuck sometimes. And one of the things I took away was the struggle. I forget who said it, but someone said embracing the struggle and just starting where you are. Like, share where you are and embrace that struggle. And I don't know who has said this before, and this wasn't even convention necessarily, but like I've heard it from other places, and my husband always says it to me too. Like, when I'm kind of like down about not being able to rank up, I've been trying to be senior gold for like almost a year now. I feel like it's been like this 9-month like push to try to be senior gold. And I've been hanging on to gold for a whole year. And I wanted my name badge to change to gold when I went into convention. But a couple months ago, whoops, I just lost a couple months ago, I just decided to let that go. And that's been very freeing, because for a while, it's just been like this up and down, up and down. I think I'm going to make it. I think I'm going to do it. I'm pushing. And then a couple orders away from senior gold, like that close. And it's just been, I can't attach to that anymore. So anyway, so that kind of spoke to me, like embracing that struggle. And I guess what I was going to say was like, John has been saying, like, you know, this story is, you're going to be able to relate to somebody else. So like down the road, you know, someone else is going to have the same struggle as you, and you'll be able to tell them you can relate to them. So I try to remember that. But it was cool still going to convention, as we were like joking, we're a double gold family, 2 of us going in gold. Anyways, we had a lot of fun together. And if you haven't brought your husband, I highly recommend you bring him, even if he's not working the business, because it really, really does build belief. But anyways, stuff that really spoke to me. I mean, I used so many Kleenexes this year. I told everyone I should not have been wearing mascara. That was stupid. I think next year I'm either going to not wear mascara or like get fake eyelashes or something, because I can't handle it. It was ridiculous, like how emotional I was. But it was awesome. It was like good, happy tears. And this one lady that's a new Sapphire, her name is Robin Sullivan. She said some things that just, you know, really hit me and spoke to me. And one of the things she said was, use your talents so that you can help others use theirs. Don't hold back your talents. And I mean, the way she said it was so much more powerful probably. And I just realized, like, that's so selfish, right? Like, I'm holding back some of my talents, like basically making other people feel comfortable so that I don't show off my talents or whatever it is, my God-given gifts or whatever. And I think I struggle with that a lot. And a lot of it is the fear of success at the same time as the fear of failure. Like, I don't want to fail, but I'm kind of afraid of a success, because if I am a success, then all these people are going to be looking at me, all eyes on me. What am I doing? What am I doing wrong? Am I perfect? Am I not? Am I this or am I that? And pressure and all that. But then I hear stories of other jewels and diamonds and everybody that they all struggle with the same things. Whether it's like this fear thing, the fear of success, the fear of failure, anxiety, social anxiety, things like that. I didn't realize all these other people that seem so confident share the same things that I do. And to hear that and realize, well, if they made it, I can do it. If they can push past that, I can keep pushing past that. And so I am going to read something that I just wrote down that Robin said too, just to kind of drive it home, like for some of you that didn't get to hear what she said. She talked about trust, like how when you're trusting in God, when it's in the light, it's very easy, but trusting him in the dark is very hard. And we give up on the fact that God is still in the business of performing miracles. And you have to have faith of a mustard seed for him to move mountains. And if you raise the bar of your own expectation, God will take you there and beyond. Like, you just have to trust him. You have to have complete faith and give bigger faith, just like what I think it was Rebecca was saying, like, have bigger dreams, bigger prayers. And fear and limiting beliefs, being too comfortable, comparison, being bound by the opinion of others. She said that, you know, she sees all kinds of people that are standing on like a cliff, like ready to jump and go for it, but others that are ready to just like retreat because of fear. But she said it's entirely your call, and God is not going to force you off of that. You have to make a choice. Like, he will just give you what you choose. You have to go for it. He's not going to push you off of it. And that some people are just still trying to play it safe, and really you just need to use your gifts. And by using your gifts, you're releasing others to use theirs, and to stop apologizing for using gifts. And this is like, it just made me cry. I don't know, for some reason, because I'm just like, I'm not maybe fully using my gifts. I don't know. So so that really hit me. And then Bob kind of really aligned with what she was saying. A lot of things, you know, like, you know, you're not broken, and like, God has made you enough. Like, he's made you enough for your Savior, Jesus Christ. And I love how like so many things aligned with God. It just gave me chills a lot, and really spoke to me. And that he said pretty much the same thing. Like, you have a responsibility to use the gifts that you're given for something far bigger than yourself. Your gifts are much bigger than you, and you have a responsibility to share them with the world. And I love what he said. He said Plexus is the biggest opportunity of a lifetime for you to do that, like the biggest vehicle for you to be able to share your gifts and like use your calling, basically. Like, God has called us to do things, and not necessarily just share Plexus, but like to do other bigger things. But by sharing Plexus, we'll be able to do that. So I thought that was all really cool. One more thing I just wanted to say was there was a video of a guy, what's his name? Something McAllister, but he lost, Casey McAllister. He had lost he lost both of his legs at a young age, but he had always decided that he would never limit himself, and he would do anything that he set his mind to and anything that anybody else could do. Like, he tried out for the basketball team, all kinds of things like that. Like, he was just doing everything. They showed videos of him and all the amazing stuff he does. And he said that sometimes it's just a mental block, and that it's just a disability in your mind. And so I just wanted to end with that like, I feel like that's a lot with me. It's just a disability in your mind. It's not a physical disability that you can't do.
I love that. And that video spoke to me as well. I think it spoke to literally everybody there. It was a big aha moment that just kind of validated everything else that we were already talking about, to see this man with, like, he didn't have two legs and he was doing that, what the Spartan race is. And that's incredible. And it was because he just believed he could. So he got creative and did it. And that's the same thing with this Plexus journey. We can get so caught up in, well, Bridget Ryan did it this way, or Timmy Yancey got to diamond this way, and I don't have those skills. And so you work so hard to build the skills and the social media presence that somebody else has, at the expense of your authenticity and at the expense of what your path and your unique talents and gifts are. I think that's such a huge key to realize that there's no structured path. There's no mold. There's nothing. You get there on your unique talents and your gifts, and that's the fastest path to success. So we'll move it over to Amy Morton. She's our last speaker, and then I'm going to share my takeaways after she is done. So I know we're running long, but hang with us. We have some really good nuggets to share with you guys. All right, Amy, go ahead.
Okay. Hey, can you guys hear me? Okay. So I'm going to start with a few little business things, and then I'll get kind of emotional on you guys. So one thing that hit home with me big time with my business is, I think it was Sarah Marble that said it. Little things done consistently each day produce huge results, huge, massive, life-changing results. And it really hit home with me because I'm preaching consistency every day with my kids, with my personal training clients, with my Plexus customers and ambassadors. I think I say the word consistent probably 10 times a day, telling other people to be consistent. Yet I am the most inconsistent person I know. So that is going to help me big time with my Plexus business. Just choosing to do, like, I seriously just need to do my IPA every day, and that would be huge. So it just really made me think, okay, I really can do this. I can be consistent, just like I tell everyone else to be consistent, and I can be consistent with my business, and stop making excuses. I'm really good at excuses, so I have to stop that. Another thing that hit home with me big time, and it may have been Sarah Marble, I can't remember. If we want to succeed, we need to stop treating Plexus as a hobby and start treating it as a business. And I know a lot of you have probably heard that before. I may have even heard it before too, but it didn't hit home. It hit home this time. I'm totally treating it like a hobby. That's what it's always going to be. If I treat it like a hobby, it will be a hobby. So I'm going to treat it like a business now. I mean, I treat my personal training business as a business. I don't know why I haven't yet done that with Plexus. I'm like squeezing it in all day, but never really, treating it like a business. So now I am. Another thing I really liked was, I didn't write down her name, but she's a really familiar diamond. And I watched some of her videos. I just can't remember her name. She's so cute. But she said we need to dig for gold. It's not just lying there. You're not just going to find gold just lying around, right? You have to dig for it. Start, and she explained how to start with your level ones. and contact all your level ones that are enjoying their products and just touch base with them. Like, stay in touch with them, touch base with them, and be like, hey, you're loving your products. Do you have any friends that you think might like Slim too? Do you want to have some friends come over to the house and try some Slim HC? And if they want to order, we can get your products covered, you know? Just, she just, I have it written down somewhere, and I'd be happy to share with you guys how she said to bring it up like that. But it just was so casual and comfortable. And I'm like, oh, I can totally do that. I have so many level ones that love their products, but I have never mentioned sharing to most of my level ones. Why? I don't know. I'm going to start. So those hit home. Oh, another thing along the same lines, don't be afraid of events. I think it was, what is it, Sheila, the first diamond. You know, Plexus, we don't like to be like, we are an event company, you have to have a party for me. Like, we're not like selling jewelry or purses or anything like that. And we always say that we don't do events like that. Well, events do work. And she got me thinking. And then I realized, oh my gosh, that's how I went silver. I totally went silver because Sarah Cunningham had some friends over, and she asked me to invite a few friends. I mean, I think it was like 3 or 4 friends. It was so comfortable. Amy Welsh came to town, and it was the 3 of us, and like maybe 4 of my friends, 2 or 3 of Sarah's, and then we had mimosas, and I went silver. Whoops. So I need to do that for my people, you know? I don't know why I haven't started. So that all hit home. And then I'm excited to use those things in my business. And so, okay, try not to cry. So I went to convention kind of almost giving up. Sorry, I'm like checking my app right before this, like, when's my period? Why am I so emotional? I have my period app on here, so thinking, why am I feeling this way? Well, it's because it hit home. But it's like an ugly cry. I just almost gave up in May, but we already had our tickets. It was going to be a really great trip for us. So we went, and within the first few minutes of being there, my husband was like, oh my God. He was like, you can do this. You can totally do this. Like, he had met a few people, met a couple jewels, and he was like, Amy, what makes them so different from you? He was like, you can do this, you know? And I was like, that just really hit home with me. And everyone else covered all the important stuff already with how impactful this convention was. So let's just say I went from, oh, I lost you. Hold on a second. I'm using this iPad.
We can still hear you.
Okay, can you see me?
Well, your hand's over it, I think.
I don't know what that is. It's so weird. Oh my gosh, I know what happened. We were looking up, I'm using this iPad for the first time. But you guys all heard about how impactful it was already. So it was just everything I needed to hear. And let's just say I'm not quitting, and I'm gonna go Emerald within the year. So I have a whole plan of action, and my husband has been helping me and figure out what I need to do, and I'm doing it. So.
Oh, I love you. And I will say, you guys, there's not one single person in Plexus that hasn't had the thought of quitting at one point. And if you haven't, you'll get there. I know that's super encouraging, but there's going to be crappy times in your business, or times where it's overwhelming or life gets in the way. And nobody is immune to that. And your husband is absolutely right. There is no reason why you cannot do this. None at all. And we are all so proud of you. And I'm going to say it again because it's my favorite saying, but you didn't come this far to only come this far. You have that dream in you, and there's not, I mean, that's it. Where do you go from there, you know?
Right.
So I'm going to share what stuck out to me the most. And I might get emotional too, because this was a really huge gut punch for me, this convention, and specifically the Jewel training that we sat in. I had been having a lot of feelings, and I couldn't put a definition on it, or I couldn't identify it within myself, why I was distancing myself from the business, and why I was kind of pushing people away and not leaning into connections and relationships and that kind of thing. I'm sure a lot of you guys felt that. But over the last 2 years, I had a really, really, really hard time within my business and within my personal self. And it all kind of came to a head, and I was just bawling throughout the whole Jewel meeting, because I realized that I was unintentionally playing small in my business. I was unintentionally self-sabotaging. I was unintentionally doing all these things because I felt like a fraud. I felt like I had a couple people who, you guys probably know the story, but I had a couple people leave our team, and I felt personally responsible for them leaving and their lack of success and the reason that they left. And then I internalized all of that, and I let it seep into absolutely every bit of me, and it became a self-fulfilling prophecy. I felt like an imposter. I felt like a fraud. I felt like an undeserving of Diamond and the leadership and the accolades and the position that I was in, and undeserving of any sort of compliments that I would ever get. And it just started to make me feel like, and I'd push people away and keep them at arm's length, because I didn't realize it at the time, and I couldn't have defined this to anybody. But it was because I felt like if they got too close, they would realize I didn't know anything, and if they got too close, they would realize that this whole thing was, I just got lucky, and it was the right time and that kind of thing. And I consistently felt like not enough. And so Jennifer's, and that I had all these unmet expectations of myself and with others and everything, and just felt like I really did not belong within those Jewel Diamond seats and within that arena. And when Jennifer started talking about the imposter syndrome, it put a definition to it. And I turned to Gavin partway through, and I was like, oh my God, this is it. Because we had had these conversations, husband and wife. He's like, what's going on? Why are you kind of pushing back and distancing yourself from everything? And it was totally this, and it gave me so much clarity on the fact. And what I loved, and yes, it's one thing to define, hey, this is an imposter syndrome that you're dealing with self-doubt, you're dealing with this. What Jennifer said that stuck to me was, this isn't going to go away. You cannot outrun the imposter syndrome. It's not something that you're going to be able to fix within yourself. But what you can do is that when these feelings come up and when this happens, you can recognize it as what it is, which is a lie. You can recognize it with the fact that, yes, this is what's happening right now, but that's not true. I am here because I made it here on my own. I deserve to be here. This is, 100% deserved, and I belong here, right? And you can push those feelings back. They're gonna keep popping up. And I feel like that I was actually grateful for her saying that, because then I don't have to feel guilty every single time I have this imposter feeling or this not enough or whatever it is, or this lack of, there's a bug around me, there's this lack of, confidence. I can recognize it for what it is and just push past it and say, that's a lie and that's okay. And I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. And it was such a freeing moment for me that I just sat in there and cried and cried and cried. It was such a life-changing moment for me, because I was able to define why I was feeling so bad in the pit of my stomach, and why I was feeling so uneasy, and why I couldn't just push forward. And aside from that, it also was leading to alignment issues. I was misaligned in my health and wellness. I was self-sabotaging that, gaining weight because I was eating my feelings, and self-medicating and doing all the things, you know what I mean? Like all the things that you should not be doing, because I was having this issue, and it was a self-fulfilling prophecy. I was going to fail. I was making myself fail. And so that ended up with loss of connection, and pushing people away and not letting people in and that kind of thing. And playing it safe. And at the end of the day, what I loved the most was when she said, you need to be okay with not being enough. We always say, I feel like I'm not enough. No, nobody's ever going to be enough for everybody. That's a people pleaser syndrome. That's a people pleaser mentality. You are not perfect. You are good enough for you, but you are never going to be enough for everybody. It's impossible, and that's okay. So you're able to kind of drop all that and just be okay with it. And so I made the commitment in there to stop allowing the feelings of imposter syndrome to control me, stop allowing my storylines to control me, and to start playing big again, and to embrace the fact and to let go of that Christian guilt for making money when other people are not. Let go of the guilt of having financial success and rank success and everything when maybe your friend that you desperately want this success for too isn't there or isn't embracing it, or you're seeing your friends online. This is a big one for me. Seeing your friends online struggle financially, and you want to give to everybody, but that's not helpful, because they need to learn how to walk out of their own hole and to dig out as well. And having the guilt for having financial success while others are suffering. So all of that from those two talks, Jessica Heffley's and Jennifer's, it changed perspective shift in me so big. So I am not going to be playing it safe anymore. I am going to be playing it big, or whatever the opposite of playing it safe is, and embracing it and going forward, and working on myself and working with alongside you guys to raise my leadership lid, and to not to be my own lid, to discontinue being my own lid. So that was my big thing, playing dangerous. So that's what I learned. And I think it was I feel like 1,000-pound weight is off my shoulders, because I know what's going on. I know why I was feeling those things. And now I'm able to move forward. And I know so many of you guys felt that relief too, because we all talked about it afterwards. And it's just such a freeing moment of, okay, I don't have, and that social anxiety that so many of you guys feel, oh my gosh, I did not even want to go to convention because I was feeling so much social anxiety. So once I got there, it was fine. But you guys that have that, trust me, you're not alone. So in any case, that was my, those were my takeaways. And I feel like it's a blank slate and a fresh start. And I'm really, really excited to move forward from this convention. Really, really excited, because I feel like there was so much mindset work done, so much baggage left behind from all of us. And the future is really bright from a mindset perspective on Team Taylor. But you guys, not only that, and I'm not going to get into it in this call. This call ran way over. But the opportunity that we have with the direction that this company is going, sitting in the Diamond meeting after convention got over that next day, listening to the executives, I've never felt more confident in the opportunity and the direction that this company is going with CBD, with Mexico, with the 10-year plan that they have in place for everything in the direction that we're going. So you guys are in the right place at the right time, and I'm very, very confident in that fact. So thank you guys for hopping on here. I'm going to have a lot more focused trainings on these kind of topics, and be watching for a lot of information too on some book studies and leadership stuff that we're going to be doing together as well. So good night.